All right, we have Ms. Rosie Badalamente with Home Partners of America, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Ms. Rosie.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate your time today, learning a little bit more about Home Partners. This is part of our trilogy training that we rolled out a month ago. We have part one that we did before, which was overview of the program. Today, we're going to go over how to market the program after you've gone through the leads in your pipeline. And then part three is process mechanics, which goes into the application submissions process a little bit more. So you all are HPA experts by the time you're done with all three trainings. So if you could scan with your phone, that QR code that's right here. That way then registering for the event, it's going to ask you some questions, and at the end it's going to say what the event is, and this is part two. That way then we have keep track of your trainings, and we know that you've gone through all of them, and we can get the ball rolling. So I'll give you a minute or two to make sure that you can get that. Were most of you guys in part one?
Yes.
Okay. David, did you have a question?
Yes. How do we scan it? How are we scanning it when we're on the call? Is there a trick to that? Because I don't know.
You've got to be on your laptop for it to work, because you have to scan it with your phone. So are you on your phone watching this?
Yes.
Okay, so I will let them know that what is your first name is David, what's your last name?
Sims, S-I-M-S.
M-S, okay. I will let them know so that they can give you credit for part two.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome, you're welcome.
And where it says event, we put training number 2?
Yep, just training number 2. Or part 2.
Part 2.
Yep. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and get started. When you're talking about Home Partners of America and you're talking about who you think might be a good fit, who you think is, somebody that is a potential lead, right? It's all about thinking outside the box. For this particular training, we really talked to our top agents who are doing 50, 60 transactions a year with us. We asked them, who are you marketing to? Because that volume is still coming in, even though this market is crazy like it is. We've asked them, who are you marketing to? How are you marketing? Who does our program help the most with? And this is where we're going to dive into that and what they're doing and how they're successful. And so really the first thing, obviously, is letting everybody in your sphere of influence know that you're a rental expert, right? So any phone calls that come to the office, anybody that you're talking to every day, all day, letting them know that you're an agent that is an expert in the rental field. And again, this real estate business is all built on referrals, right? So again, it's really letting anybody that you've ever talked to before, reaching out to all your past clients, all your referrals, everybody, to say, listen, you may not know a buyer, you may not know a seller, but you may know somebody who needs to rent, right? And usually everyone knows a couple people, whether it be family or friends, that are in a situation or going to be coming up in a situation where they're looking to move or they're looking for a place to rent. So again, really important that you use that sphere of influence out there. And we're going to be talking about social network, right? There's 6 different platforms that at all times on your social media platforms that you should be updating on a weekly basis. Every top agent that we have in our program uses social media to their advantage. They really dive into those platforms and know everything in and out about it and how to really, succeed with it using their platforms that they have as well. So another thing to do is touching on your vendors, right? Anybody that that touches the transaction of either a closing or on a closing of a home. So anybody from the listing agent to the seller, to the buyer, to the painter, to the insurance guys, to the mortgage writers, to everybody, right? You want to let them know that you're rental experts. You want to let them know that, hey, I am an agent that's representing a cash buyer out of Chicago, that anybody that's looking to rent, we can open up their horizons. We can open up where they want to live and what type of home they're in. And again, really letting everyone know, because you don't know what their sphere of influence is, right? It could be somebody, a painter that maybe has been and helped you paint on some of the homes that you've sold, or a listing that you had. His sphere of influence could be huge. It could just take one person to really put you over that edge as far as those lead generations coming in, those referrals coming in. So again, really making sure that those vendor partners are touched, that your sphere of influence is really out there as far as you being a rental expert. So when we did a lot of research regarding this, 99% of millennials use the internet when buying a home. One of the biggest buckets of people that we have in our program are millennials, because they don't know if they want to be a homeowner. They don't know if they even, want to go to the next step, right? Again, they're scared of the 30-year mortgage. That scares them. They don't even know what they're going to be doing in a couple of years, where they're going to be living. So again, this is a try before you buy program. This is a test drive program to see if the homeownership is really the next step that they want to take, right? Because again, with our program, it being purchased, a lease with option, right? That's what it's called, a lease with option. They don't have to buy the house they're in, and there's no fees or penalties with our program, again, like a lot of the other programs out there, if they choose not to buy the house. They can be a straight renter with us, and it's just a perk of living in an upgraded, nice single-family home in a great neighborhood. Again, 90% of baby boomers use the internet when buying a home. So a big bucket of people that we have in our program that are just renters are baby boomers. They hit this age bracket because they want to sell the house, because it's a seller's market. They're going to get top dollar for that house that they raised the kids in. They're going to sit on that pile of cash. They're going to downsize, and they're going to downsize into maybe a small 2-bedroom, 2-bath house with us. They're going to rent with us for the next couple of years until they're ready to make that move and buy the house in the state they're going to retire to. So our program is a perfect vehicle for that in-between time for those baby boomers to take advantage of how the market is right now. And it's really with these groups of people taking the fear away, right? Because a lot of these baby boomers have the fear that if they sell their house now, where are they going to go to, right? And you come up with that solution. Well, you could rent a small home with Home Partners. And taking the fear of the millennials. I don't know if I want to buy a home. I don't know if I'm ready. Taking that fear away, right? That's what it's about. And so again, 75% of home sellers end up going with the first agent that they speak with. So again, that sphere of influence goes a long ways. When I'm going to send you that follow-up email today, you're going to have on top of my signature a whole list of all trilogy trainings that we're doing on an open webinar basis, openly monthly enrollment. So you can enroll to do part 1 again, to do a refresher if you want, part 2 again, or part 3 if you can't go to the training for part 3. But again, we also have a 4th webinar on a monthly basis that our social media puts on called My BFF, and they're out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're wonderful, you guys. We've been working with them for 5 years. They specialize in real estate, and they really, really help and show you how to advertise correctly on Facebook, Facebook Marketplace, and other social media platforms. Especially Facebook Marketplace has a lot of rules and regulations that they never used to. So again, this is ways of knowing how to get around that so that you don't get kicked out of the marketplace. So again, when you're talking about social media and you're talking about the platforms, these are the top platforms that our top agents are doing, and every single week, you guys, every single week. So again, they have their business Facebook page, and they're doing a Facebook Live video on a weekly basis. They have their Instagram business page, and they're doing their Instagram Live video every week. They're doing a YouTube channel every week. They're doing their own business website that they're updating on a weekly basis. They're doing TikTok videos to reach the millennial population, and they're also doing LinkedIn to reach that business side of it. So again, 6 different platforms. Each platform has their own rules and regulations. You can create your videos that you're going to produce anywhere between 30 seconds to 7 minutes. So again, when you're creating these, there's different ways of how you create these, right? So again, it can be something where you're telling the, platform, hey, who am I trying to outreach? Who am I trying to reach? That's number one, right? Who am I trying to figure out who the best fit for these programs are? So you might do a personalized video on saying, hey, are you a discouraged buyer out there? Are you somebody that keeps getting bid out over and over again and don't have the cash to go over? Well, turn that frown upside down. We have a program for you that I have a cash buyer that will buy the home, and you don't have to buy it if you don't want to, but you can rent it. And if that's an option that you want to choose, you can. So again, anybody that can't get a home loan for whatever reason, again, really outreaching to those loan officers saying, hey, do you have clients that are getting denied? Please send them my way. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a referral fee and a loan lead generation relationship with your loan officers. Again, we have a PowerPoint presentation just for loan officers. If you want me to train anybody, I'd be more than willing to do so. But again, making these videos, posting them on your social media platforms, outreaching who you're trying to reach. That's number one, right? Obviously, relocation is huge. Relocation, right? So again, corporate relocation, some of our top agents don't even go into the fact that you can buy the house back if you want to. They go into just, it's somebody coming from out of state that they don't know what the commute's like. They don't know what the neighborhood is like. They don't know what the schools are like. Normally the family is coming with them. So having a video saying, hey, are you someone that is having to move out of state because of a job transfer or because of a new job that's taking you to a different area? Well, guess what? You can test drive a beautiful single family home with this program that I have. I have a cash buyer that will help you get into a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood, really outreaching that group. Again, you don't have to be related in our program. So we help a lot of doctors in their residency, outreaching to doctors in their residency, saying that they can rent a house close to the hospital. Again, outreaching to them, outreaching to HR directors at the hospitals, explaining that you have a housing program for their out-of-state residents that are coming in. Same with houses close to university. You can be roommates. You can have roommates and rent a house close to the university. So outreaching to, those groups of people. Again, anybody that's needing a single family home and they want to rent, they know that the single family rental, and the inventory is not there. A lot of times the homes are not what they want. So now by opening up this program to them, they have all the homes that they can qualify for sale homes that are in much better condition, much better neighborhoods. And so again, it's really a great way of outreaching your personalized videos. Again, having it on your platforms, and then also creating a personalized video for texting and a personalized video that you would put at the end of your signature for your emails. Because that little personal touch with your personalized videos is what all the top agents are doing. Again, it's taking that next step with these videos to really put you over the edge of that another agent that's not doing this. You can do videos that are setting expectations. So once you figure out who that sweet spot is and who you're marketing to, now you can go into, today my video is about the application requirements, right? So again, 620 minimum FICO score. Again, 40,000 gross plus household income, right? 50% max debt to income ratio, 40% max rent to income ratio. Letting them know they can go into myfico.com, they can go into nerdwallet.com to find out where they're at before they actually apply to the program. The last thing we want is somebody to get denied on our program, right? So again, letting them know what those requirements are. Letting them know it's a $75 non-refundable application fee per household. Letting them know that that's going to save them money instead of having to put down an application fee every single time they apply for a rental. Also letting them know what the income requirements are, the income verifications sheets that we need. So again, if they only have 2 pay stubs, that's fine. We don't need longevity of their income. So letting them know on a personalized video, all we need is 2 bank statements. That's it. Self-employment we take, unemployment we take. Again, really letting them know, look at this, look at how easy this program is and how wonderful it will be once you get accepted. And then the benefits, right? Getting into that home in the area that you want, running now and deciding later, and really letting them know every single benefit, right? A lot of right now is fear-based with people because the market is turbulent. Also, it takes the peace of mind. It makes it a peace of mind for them, right? Again, we are able to help people. Our rents only go up 3.75% nationwide across the board yearly. I can't tell you and stress enough how much our top agents are using that to get people into this program. Some landlords are raising their rents up to 20% over rental prices because it's after COVID times. Here downtown Chicago, 2 of our managers had to move because one was $600 extra a month, one was $800 extra a month. So again, this is happening everywhere. And then also explaining to them in a video that we have a free credit counseling service for them. It is called Green Path. It is Farmington Hills, Michigan. They've been there since the late 60s. Again, they're going to help them with a budget. They're going to help them with those credit cards, that credit score. So again, it's really, really honing in on what these benefits are. This is a great tool, a free tool for these clients to use, right? So let's say they go on the myfico.com, they're short a little bit on that FICO. You know what? They're going to be able to help them. Let's say they get denied from the program. They call Green Path. They're going to be able to help them. And let's say they just want to be a homeowner, whether it's our home or another home. Again, it's really important that they know they can call Green Path and know they'll be able to help them get approved for whatever their loan officer is saying they need to be at. Again, whether it's our home or another home, if they see that light at the end of the tunnel, whether it's 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road, it's so much easier to obtain than when they're being told no. No, we don't have a home that fits what you're looking for. No, you can't get a home loan right now because of this one-time life event that happened to you. You know, so many different no's in this emotional journey that they're getting right now. And so that's what your job is, right? Your job is to help them. Your job is to ease their fears, let them know that we have a solution. Again, when we talk about who are you going to get the leads? Who can you go to set your own referral fees up, your own relationships up to get these leads? Obviously, your loan officers are number one. Any loan officer going and marketing to loan officers, right? Because again, they're the first line of defense. They're the first ones to tell a client, you cannot get a home loan because of this reason. But because I know of this agent and I know of this program that can still get you in a home, here's their information. Again, really working with these lenders, right? Again, property management firms. This is huge. All of our top agents, they go to these top property management firms. They talk to the HR directors and those property directors and say, listen, I have a program. Let's just say there's one apartment for rent, one condo for rent, one townhome for rent. It's usually first come, first serve, whoever qualifies first for that rental. What happens, let's just say 20 people apply. What happens to those 19 other applications? Because they took another day to fill it out, or they took another hour to fill it out. Again, it's usually first come, first serve. Are they throwing those applications in the trash? Because I guarantee you that of those 19 people that didn't get into that rental, you're going to be able to help get in that program. There's a certain percentage that you're going to be able to get in that program. So again, they're already in the rental mindset, right? They're already knowing they have to leave the house they're in. They're already in that, mindset of it's time to move. We've got to figure out this situation. So again, working with that property management director and saying, I got this program, let's set up a referral fee, let's set up a relationship. So all these people that aren't getting into your rentals, please give me these applications and I can get them into a home. So again, this is huge. Also, your listing agents, like I was saying, anybody that's your sphere of influence, right? So again, letting that listing agent know. A lot of listing agents don't know who we are, right? Yes, you're representing us as a cash buyer, but that doesn't mean the listing agent knows who we are. Same along with the seller, right? Again, humanizing our cash offer. Why we're different than all the other Wall Street guys and investors out there. We're not just buying up a bunch of houses, jacking up the prices and getting people to move in. We have a family behind our LLC that most likely would not be able to get in a house any other way. So letting that seller know, letting that agent know that yes, you know, because a lot of times they're attached to that house, right? Emotionally attached, especially if they've been there 50 years and they know everybody in the block and they grew up with everybody in the block and they want a family in there that fits what they think is acceptable for that neighborhood, right? So again, it's really important that you explain who you're representing. So that really gives you that top advantage. So again, the available resources we had, I did touch base with it on part 1, but I'm going to go through it here. Bear with me here. So this is your agent tab, your agent dashboard. Again, this is what any type of emails or announcements from us come to you. But when you scroll down here, again, like we were saying before on part 1, this is your Real Pulse CRM system. So if there's any, any holdup, any way around the board, you can come and reach out to me or anybody on my team to say, hey, there's a holdup with the application. There's a holdup with, the submissions. There's a holdup. There's something going on. Can you find out what's going on? And we can take a look for you. Again, here's that continue button to invite those prospects to apply for the program. But when you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see this is how you customize your UTM link. This is really important, you guys, because if they're not applying through your invitation link, through your agent dashboard, then they can apply through your UTM link, your customized UTM link. So if you hit wherever you want them to go to, right? Which most want to go to the application side. So when they hit that UTM link and they copy and paste it into their browser, it's going to take them right to your agent dashboard under the application side. They can start the application process right away. Or you can click it over here and it can give you the customized UTM link that way as well. Either way, it's going to do it for you. On the bottom here, I just want to make sure that you guys know there's information for you to use. I have sent some information through that first follow-up email, but again, it has the how it works video page for you there. It also has the frequently asked questions. This is really important. Any questions that your clients have, again, most of the time it's going to be in here. Also, when you scroll down, you're going to see right where you can go to our blog. It has a lot of information on there. We have a podcast that we update weekly, a lot of great information on there. Our agent training, once you complete that, you can go onto our private Facebook page. Sometimes that can help you get information, and also the program guide. When you're up here again, you're going to go to that marketing section. You have these bifolds. Again, like I was saying, if you download any of these in PPT form, again, you can put your information coinciding with your brokerage information, coinciding with our information. So again, you have your client bifolds, you have your flyers, which are really great. Again, you have creative control on how you want to market our program on any of your social media platforms, as long as you're using one of our scriptings that are on here. And if you're putting a picture of a home, it has to be permission from the listing agent or a listing from your agency. So these are really great. The lease it, love it, buy it, lease to love. Again, you're going to put your information here. Looking to rent, not quite ready. Relocating, try before you buy. And again, here's where the moneymaker is. You would put your listing, your information, the list price, the yearly rent, the yearly right to purchase. So again, if your listing does meet our requirements, you would get commission on both sides. And again, now you've got double the volume of people looking at your listing. So you have buyers looking at it and renters looking at it. So now you're getting closer. You guys know it's a numbers game. You're getting closer to that closing, right? So again, there's the flyers. And then of course, here is that scripting to use. Again, it's really important that you go on and to explain that webinar through our social media company. But again, this walks you through on how to post on any social media page. Again, the logo, the texting, the image, the headline, the news feed, and then where to put your UTM link. Again, there's a bunch of different texting here to use. It walks you through on how to use it. So again, it's really good information there. So if we go back, again, we talked about the UTM links and how important it is. And again, realizing that you've kind of got to have your own drip campaign with potential clients, right? And we know that we really don't want to have and waste your time in any dead leads, top of the funnel leads, because we really want to make sure from the very beginning that you're working with people that you can convert over, because we can always post something on Marketplace and have 100 leads that are never going to convert over. At the end of the day, you've gotten nowhere further than you did from the beginning of the day, right? So again, really holding the hands of these clients, right? Because they're different than a buyer, they're different than a seller, and they're going to need their hand held a little bit, right? They're usually gone through a one-time life event. So again, just letting them know, making sure that they understand the program and the expectations from beginning to end, and really holding their hand a little bit more. So again, going back to the groups of people that really are being marketing to our top agents are really, really honing in and how they're getting their leads. Obviously, discouraged buyers, you've seen the last 6 months. We've talked about this in the first one a little bit. Anybody that's FHA, VA, and conventional that just can't keep getting bid out over and over again, very discouraged because they don't have the cash to go over. Again, we're able to come in, buy the house for cash. They can turn around from day one and buy it right back from us. We're waiving the appraisal contingency, the mortgage contingency, the inspection contingency for 2006 and newer. Again, it is a cash offer. So again, it's going to get them looked at, right? Because if they're on a VA loan, they're not getting looked at right now. I have a VA loan. My husband was in the Navy. You know, I wish it was a perfect world where they were getting looked at, but they're not, right? They're getting it put at the bottom of the pile. So it's really important that these, you know, they know that it is a cash offer, that by going this way, they're at least going to be looked at, right? We're winning 1 out of 3 homes in this actual market right now. And again, that's good odds. So again, even if it's not a house, then we dead deal that, we move on to the second one. If it's not that one, we dead deal that one and go on to the third one again. But by using this, we're going to help those discouraged people out there get to a home closer than if they did not have that cash offer. Again, like I was saying with the first-time home buyers and those millennials, again, huge market for us. Relocation leads, again, this is huge, 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 huge for you guys, right? Again, really outsourcing that relocation, really outsourcing, you know, doctors in a residency, college students, military, anybody that you think is going to be relocating to your area, really having that outreach for them. Obviously, anybody that can't get that mortgage for whatever reason. Again, this is huge to market to bankruptcy lawyers, right? Because if they have that Chapter 7 bankruptcy, we work with you the very next day it's discharged. There's no waiting time. Chapter 13, we just need repayment of the debt from the court. Foreclosures don't count against you. So I have agents who are marketing and doing a networking event to bankruptcy lawyers on a monthly basis because we're able to help the bankruptcy lawyers' clients. That referral fee that you do with the bankruptcy lawyers, that lead gen that you're coming in with those bankruptcy lawyers are huge. Same with divorce lawyers. I cannot stress enough. You can have a house contingent for sale, not counted against you in our program. Get mom and dad in the same school district in rental homes. Once that house closes, after a year, they can figure out what direction they want to go in. And while they're doing it, build and clean up their credit, because obviously we all know divorce is not kind to your credit. So that's where GreenPath comes in and is able to help them clean that up for them. So again, huge, huge advantage, right? And then of course, renters, like I was saying, that 3.75% escalation rate is giving them a peace of mind. It's opening up that inventory for them. It's a one-time household fee of $75. Also for those baby boomers, like I was saying, it's an in-between vehicle. It's a program for that vehicle, the in-between time for them, so they can jump on the market now, get that top dollar for the house they're selling, and then wait until they're ready to retire. Wait until it slows down a little bit, is a little bit more or less turbulent, right? So again, they're able to really use our program to get the best of both worlds. So again, talking about that middle of the funnel, we don't want top of the funnel leads, we want middle of the funnel leads that convert. So it's really important that you know the questions right up front to ask. When are you looking to move? If they tell you that they gotta get out in 30 days, I gotta get out by the end of the month. Obviously, this is not the program for them. We need 2 to 3 months minimum, right? 60 days. So again, making sure that they understand that. We don't want them couch surfing that second and third month. How much money are you looking to spend, right? If they're not looking to spend a rental amount of at least $2,200 a month, it's gonna be finding a needle in a haystack, right? Again, we can help them, it's just gonna be harder. But again, what is your, you gotta think to yourself as an agent, what is your minimum price range that you wanna help people with? Is it 2,500? Is it 2,200? Is it 2,300, right? Because again, you need to be able to find them a house quickly. Third one, what the requirements are, right? For 40,000 gross income, 620 FICO, making sure these pre-qualification checklists, again, I'm gonna send that to you. You're gonna send that to a client before they even get the invitation. That pre-qualification checklist has 6 different questions on it to make sure they're a good fit for a program. So again, question number 1, have you had an eviction in the last 5 years? Automatic disqualifier. Have you had rent collection and of $250 or more in the last 3 years? Automatic disqualifier. Have you had a felony in the last 6 years? Automatic disqualifier. So again, making sure these questions are asked up front. You're not wasting your time. You're not wasting their time. So you can get to the middle of the funnel leads. So once you get them, you screen them, you inform them, right? And then you invite them, right? Because again, your time is precious, right? You're only one person. You can only do so much with your time. So again, that's really how you're going to break it down quickly and simply. Any questions, you guys? No questions? Everybody is quiet today.
Yeah, we have a question here, Rosie.
Okay.
So where do y'all get paid at? How do y'all get paid? Where y'all fees at?
This is a free program. We get paid very little. We get paid because of the volume. We have 30,000 homes across the country. So our money is on the rent and our money is on if they decide to purchase a house. So again, you're getting your full sales commission by representing us as a cash buyer.
So do you guys have to agree to sell it at a higher amount?
No, it's when
I'm sorry, the buyer.
We're the
Is
buyer.
the buyer. Okay.
So yeah, so when we decide, again, you're not writing up a single piece of paper, we're doing it. I don't know if you missed part 1, but we talk about the submissions process of how you submit the home to us to see if we'll make a cash offer on it. Our data analytical team will take a look at that. And that's where you as an agent representing us are going to put all the information on that house. So again, you're going to put upload your comps. You're going to put what you think the highest and lowest bid should be. Always put there's multiple offers coming in. So again, when you submit that to us, within 4 to 6 business hours, because we have underwriters working around the clock, we're going to give you what the cover letter, cash offer, declaration of authority, and proof of funds to give to that listing agent ASAP. Sometimes on average, we've been going 30, 40,000 over listing because we had to win the house. Now we scaled back a little bit because the market has pivoted. Sometimes we go over, sometimes listing, sometimes we go at listing, sometimes we go below listing. A lot of people have listings that are sky high and not what they're supposed to be at, and we know that. So we may go under listing and offer what the house is really worth. That client has to sign off on a client acknowledgement form before you get that to give to the listing agent, that paperwork. They have to know exactly what they're locked in with for all 3 years with us and all 3 years for rent and all 3 years of the right to purchase. Our rents go up 3.75% every year, and our right to purchase goes up 5% every year. So it's whatever we buy the house for plus that 5%. They would go to the outside lender. get the house appraised. Obviously, in your market, it's going to appraise more than 5% right now. It's a win-win. They're walking in with built-in equity. But let's say they wait a couple of years, then they want to buy the house. Let's say it's not appraising the way it's supposed to. They can make up the difference and still buy it back from us, or move out of our house without any type of penalties and purchase another house that is appraising the way it's supposed to and a better financial fit for them. That's what makes us different than all the other lease to purchase, lease with option, rent to own. It's straight rent with us. You're not getting any money on top of that rent payment that's going to the equity of the house that they lose out on if they walk away. Because a lot of these companies, if they do that and they go into the program and they can't buy that house, they're out a lot of money. So that's something to definitely make sure you know. We don't have any additional fees or penalties for that. But they do have to sign off on what our offer is going to be. And they may not want to do it, right? They may say, hey, I don't feel comfortable going at listing. I don't feel comfortable going 5 over, whatever the case might be, that they're in control on if they want our offer to be offered or not.
So you said when they're ready to buy a home, you charge a additional 5% over the listing price. So in essence, that's what your company makes, 5% more than the listing price of the house.
Right, but it's going to appraise more than 5%. So
Right.
really, if you think about it, we're at a loss because that's the gamble we take, right? I mean, it may appraise for 10%, which is average right now in your market. So we could, you know, I mean, we could have more if we wanted. We're not though,
Mhm.
right? So we're not making a lot of money on these transactions.
Mhm.
We have 30,000 homes across the country. That's where we're making our money.
So the buyer has up to 3 years to purchase a home? They
That is
can.
correct. They can still rent. They can still rent from us. It just means they lose the option to purchase it back.
I see. So what if they rented the property and they damaged some items inside the house? Do they have?
So we have a regular lease like any landlord has. So it's the same. Obviously, there's fees and penalties, right? Just like any, you know, they get their 2-month security deposit back as long as the house is in the same condition they moved in at.
Okay.
Just like any landlord-tenant relationship. If they decide to purchase the house back from us, they get that 2-month security deposit back the day of closing to use for closing costs or however their lender wants them to use it for.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have
No,
one
let
more
me make
question,
sure.
Rose.
Sure.
So how much is the rent? Is it 1%, 2% of the housing price, or how much would
No,
determine that?
each property is totally different. There's not a formula for the rent. Like I can't tell you it's 10% of the listing price. If you go on our website, you'll see all the homes that we're pulling from your MLS twice a day, once at noon and once at midnight. We're filtering our core requirements and you'll see the rental amount attached to it. So you could have a house next door to each other and it'd be different rents and the same list price. It depends on HOAs, it depends on property tax, it depends on the economic growth and return of that area, population growth. So there's a whole data analytical system that goes in to what our rents are. They're always market rent. So I think it's only been one time, it was in Myrtle Beach about a year ago, that our rents were a little bit higher than market rents. So we did a market rent review and we lowered it by a few percentages and then it ended up being back to market rent. But as of right now in your market, we're definitely 100% in the market rental amount. So what you'll see for, you know, a $450,000 house, that rental amount is what average it is for a $450,000 house. Again, they don't have to use the full amount. Let's just say they do get approved for $4,000 a month in rent. And let's say they only want to use just like a regular loan offer, right? They only want to go to $2,500 a month in rent. Then you can, on your dashboard, put minimum or maximum, right? Maximum 2,500, and it's going to show you all the homes in the metro you're looking in, and the community you're looking in, that meet 2,500 or less for that rent.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you
Okay.
guys.
Anyone else have any questions?
Yes, I stopped coming in. So all of the rent will go towards equity?
No, none of it goes to equity.
None of it goes to, so whatever they pay in rent is completely down the drain.
Right. That's a rent to own program, and we're not a rent to own, we're a lease with option.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why you gotta be careful on the other programs, because a lot of those programs have fees if they decide to walk away from that house. Whatever it's appraising for, right?
So can you explain the lease with option to buy again? Because I was understanding it as when you're paying a rent, a portion of that rent is going to the equity of the house. So with
Absolutely not.
that's not the.
That's a rent to own. That's a rent to own. We're a lease with option, meaning that you are leasing the house, you're renting the house from us with an option to buy it back.
So what's your advantage of doing that? I mean, it's like I can go anywhere and rent a place until I'm ready to buy, correct?
Correct. So there's many different advantages. One, you may just want to rent, but
Okay.
the inventory for a single family home is usually not the best. So
Okay,
now you just open it up to 5,000 homes for sale that you can take a look at in your budget, because we're opening it up to homes for sale. You're not looking at homes just for rent.
okay,
So that's one advantage. Second advantage is that you're locked in with us at 5% escalation. So when it's time to buy the house back, whenever that is, you're locked in at 5% compounded every year. So no matter what the market turns, if it turns for the better, great. If it turns for the worse, you don't have to buy the house. So that takes the fear for a lot of people right now away, where they want to buy, but they're afraid to buy. So that gives them a couple of years to figure out and see if the market has calmed down.
mhm,
You know, so that's what a lot of this is, right? A lot of renters who just want to rent and not buy can come into our home and know what their rent is for all 3 years. A lot of landlords are raising their rents. 2 managers at downtown Chicago here with us had to move out of their homes because one landlord raised it $600 a month. One landlord raised it $800 a month. They're raising it up to 20% or more right now because it's after COVID times. So again, they know what their rent is. They're locked in stone. So I can't begin to tell you how much that peace of mind right now for renters is. So there's many different advantages. We take animals. That's another thing. We have no dog breed restrictions. You can have cats and animals, up to 3 of them, up to 180-pound max. So again, that's an advantage. So many different advantages, you know, even if they're just a renter, to be into our program. And they can just strictly rent.
okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, again, I'm going to send that follow-up email. It's going to have all the information that we talked about it today on there. But please feel free to reach out to me, call me, email me, text me, anybody on my team as well. And we're here to help you, right? I mean, we want to make this as seamless transaction for you as possible. And again, you're getting your full sales commission. So instead of a rental commission, you're getting a full sales commission with us. And that is the advantage for you. Have a great rest of the day, you guys.
All right, thank you so
We'll
much.
talk
Thank you,
soon.
Rosie. Thank you for lunch. Y'all are missing
Thank you.
out.